transmission. And right now, it doesn't have an auxiliary box, so it's only a 5-speed. And first of all, these are the parts. This is your input shaft. And this right here is your main shaft that holds these gears. These two outside shafts are your counter shafts. We have your counter shafts to carry the torque load. You have two counter shafts that can carry a more torque load. And these right here are your sliding clutches. And these would actually engage the gears. And this is reverse, this is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth. The reason why fourth and fifth is switch. Your fourth gear is your direct drive. That's going to be a 1-to-1 gear ratio. Your fifth gear is your overdrive, and that's going to be a less than the 1-to-1 gear ratio. As you can see now, the transmission is in neutral. I can rotate input shaft, and back here does not move. Okay, so when you're gear splitting and you're going to put it in first gear, your forks are going to move this into first gear. And what happens then, you have your power come in to your input shaft. They're going to go out to your counter shafts, down your counter shaft, into first gear. And that's going to go out through your main shaft, out to your drive shaft. Okay? When you want to put it in second gear, you shift it with your shifter in the second gear. And this shift clutch side up the second gear. And what happens with the second gear, same thing again. Your power comes to the input shaft, out to your counter shafts, down to second gear, and back up to your main shaft, out to your drive shaft. Okay? And we're shifting, you're shifting the third gear, and the clutch moves up the third gear. What happens then, same thing. Power comes to input shaft, out to your counter shaft, down to third gear, out the main shaft, and on to your drive shaft. Alright, and the same thing happens with fourth gear. Slide it back, and that's your direct drive, your 1-to-1 gear ratio. Happens with fourth gear, the input shaft goes down directly to your main shaft, and not to your drive shaft. So basically, that's 1-to-1. You're getting power from your engine, the same power from your engine is going to your drive shaft. Alright, when you shift to the fourth gear, y'all saw the fifth gear. Here's what happened. The shifting fork goes in the fifth gear, same thing. The power comes into the input shaft, out to the counter shafts, down to the fifth gear, out to your main shaft, and down to your drive shaft. Alright? Now, if you want to put it in reverse is all the way up here. You put it in reverse with your shifting level, and this is what happens. The power comes in to the input shaft, it goes down, and it goes down to your idle gear, and your idle gear turns your reverse gear, and that goes out to your drive shaft, and your vehicle moves in reverse. So that explains the power flow for this 5-speed heat and cooling transmission. And once again, it does not have an auxiliary box. If it had an auxiliary box, it would go a little bit further. But that's all for today. Major Peace from J-Tech, and I'm out.